Coming into 2017, 8-time world motocross champion Antonio Cairoli was more motivated than ever to win another championship and put an end to his 2-year drought that had many wondering if he'd ever stand on top again, while Jeffrey Herlings, perhaps the most hyped up MX2 rider ever, was to make his Premier Class debut. It had all the makings of an epic clash, but it wasn't to be. Herlings crashed and injured his hand in a pre-season race 2 weeks before round 1, and he'd be hampered by it for the first half of the season, allowing Cairoli to build an insurmountable points lead. We would get to see some fireworks between the two in the second half of the season, but Herlings was never able to pose any real threat to Cairoli's points lead, and they were as to nothing compared to what we'd see in 2018. Herlings was still hungry for title number 1, and Cairoli, now back on top, was after title number 10. Both riders were healthy and the stage was set for the Orange War. The championship kicked off in Argentina, and it was clear that both riders were ready to go the full 20 rounds. Consistency was the name of the game.
I was just blind. I just wanted to go out and win, and there was a little trap, and I stood in it with both feet. So it was pretty stupid for myself. So I feel like that's my weakness, but I improved. Like now, I feel like I don't need to win each fight. I just feel like I need to win the war, and that's our game plan for next season to be consistent and learn from great riders as Tony, as Stefan. They've always been very consistent, and that's how you win championships. So by winning many fights, there's a chance you win the championship, but it's more important to win the championship, so the war instead of all the single fights.
I know the season is very long, so we are really looking for consistency, again this year, and try to stay always on the podium. This is the goal, because it's very long, and it's many fast riders.
The first race of the season. Could it possibly live up to the hype surrounding it? Would the two riders even see each other on track, or would one get a bad start, crash, or even have a mechanical? We'd soon find out, because it was finally time to go racing. Months of training, months of bike testing, and months of contemplation all came down to this.
Cairoli gets a good jump, cuts across the first 3 or 4 guys to his right, and a best on a box hole shot in the process. Oh, it was short there, Jeffrey Herlings. Look at this, muscling his way across the front of the Husqvarna. Gets alongside the Belgian neatly there, takes a quick look to see that the 33 isn't closing in on him from left to right. They're coming to land over that Monster Energy tabletop.
After an average start, Herlings made his way quickly into third, where only Roman Fevre stood between him and Cairoli, who was beginning to set sail after having hole-shotted the race. Herlings needed to discard of Fevre quickly in order to start reeling Cairoli in before it was too late, so he put his head down and did exactly that.
Now makes some noise here as well, and Herlings finds his way past Fevre, which he's got that so mild at the end of the straight down, bounces and really through the final 2. Another 42.6 for Jeffrey Herlings, compared to 43.5, so second game back for Jeffrey Herlings. Both KTM go for the win here. Great response from Tony Cairoli. All of a sudden, Cairoli has responded in the late stages of this race. He's doing everything he can to keep the young contender to his throne and bay. Back markers in the way as well. 4 of them right in this line of sight. Cairoli getting the best of that deal. It was a brave, gallant effort from Jeffrey Herlings. Threw everything into it. I tell you what a great end. Cairoli hits the line, he wins race 1. Herlings, though, he knows he's got it up his sleeve.
Yeah, it was a very good start, and then I had a good rhythm, but after 25 minutes I get a little bit arm pump, and I start making some mistakes, and Jeffrey come closer, but overall I'm happy. It's not really a track where I get so many good memories, because I struggle a lot, but today seems to be good, so happy.
Antonio Cairoli's whole shot and perfect race execution had proven just enough to offset Jeffrey Herlings' superior speed, but only by the skin of his teeth, and thanks mainly to Herlings' poor start and some luck with lap riders late in the Moto. He knew he couldn't rely on that happening again, so he'd have to step it up in Moto too. as would Herlings. The two riders were on a collision course bound for one another. There could only be one victor.
Cairoli, will he be putting another foxhole shot? He doesn't want to give any advantage to Jeffrey Herlings with the massive early and charging into that turn. He gets round wide as Herlings gets bounced off. Oh, that's Hansky going down. And well, there's three guys in there. Jeffrey Herlings very lucky not to go down there.
It looked like a carbon copy of Moto 1. Cairoli out front and Herlings with a lot of work to do.
Mevra lost the front. Whoa! Mevra just trying to get those elbows down. Poor Animals coming through with the background. As Herlings saying, you know what, we're not coming back that street. Here is very brave move. Going to go on the outside here and cut back. Watch this.
Finally up to second place, Herlings started to cut away at Cairoli's lead.
So 3 laps to go, and that gap has come down to 4.051 seconds. That's not 4 seconds. That is not 4 seconds. That is the game on it from here, folks. Oh, gets more behind that marker. Jose moving on. He doesn't know that Cairoli is there. And Jeffrey Herlings. Oh, he's right there. He's ready to pounce. And he's going to the jugular. He's charging down the inside. He runs it wide. Wow. And these two are going to end up in a they're still going. Watch Herlings around the outside. And he's got behind that marker. Cairoli can't afford to rely. Oh, back end out. Opposite structure. And Herlings leads for the first time. He's going to come in out. He's going to square him off. Oh, he goes around the outside. Cairoli looking, he's almost helpless. And a mistake there from the 9-time champ. What a comeback ride for Jeffrey Herlings. It ain't over till it's over.
Cairoli's going for the waves.
Oh! I tell you what, this is the race that we wanted. Herlings takes the win, and he does it in emphatic style. Wow. What a end to a fantastic Grand Prix. Herlings at the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. Just absolutely decimated. This will be interesting. Lisa Leyland is with Jeffrey Herlings.
Jeffrey Herlings, a big win for you. You did not give up, and some risky moves there to get the overall.
It was tight, man. I mean, you know, I'm blessed for the KTM. They did a great job, and you know, I had a good start, but because I crashed yesterday, you know, they cleaned me a bit out on the first turn. But you know, I was sick all week. You even hear it on my voice. And yesterday I was struggling a bit with myself, but then today to come back that strong is unbelievable. You know, like I said, I had a good start. It pushed me wide, and on this track the pass was pretty tough. It was high speed, and then you know, to come back from that far is amazing. And you know, I never give up. You know, that's what my mama always teach me, to never give up. And man, I'm so blessed to for this win. You know, I'm very thankful. Worked all winter, did everything I possibly could to get here, and that it pays out with victory, then it's amazing. You know, success is all I got.
Fantastic win. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Any doubt that these two were the top dogs in 2018 had been abolished. They put 20 seconds between themselves and the rest of the field in both motos, though they finished within 1 second of each other. Cairoli taking the first moto and Herlings the second, which gave him the overall. However, they both left Argentina on 47 points. And this begged the question, with 19 more rounds remaining, what on earth were we in store for? Would the two riders go toe-to-toe like this all season long? How many more of these epic battles would we bear witness to, and who would come out on top? This was only the tip of the iceberg.